Hey twin, thanks for clicking on this video. I wanted to hop on and chat a bit because basically I put in my 2 weeks at the office on Friday right before I left. So I'm pretty sure tomorrow, because today is Sunday, I'll get called into the director's office. And they're gonna want to know why, but basically it's like recognizing that when something is just not easy to fix because it's really not where you're meant to be. And while the duties at the office are easily manageable for me, I have a lot of experience in the processes of private label apparel, or just apparel manufacturing in general. But I like that company just doesn't align with how I feel a company should operate. And I mean, I missed a whole style to send out for sampling, and I didn't realize it until the other day when I was checking the line sheet, and I was like, did I put this style in? Like, I don't remember seeing a muslin for it or anything like that. And even though I had sent out the color standard for it so that the factory could develop the color, I never even created the tech pack. Anyways, I never even created the tech pack for it to send out, and didn't even realize it until it's like completely too late to even try to get the factory to send us something. And that's just actions speaking louder than words, because when I had received the promotion, I think it was it November, or I don't know, sometime towards the end of last year, the director, when she called me in, she's like, I know you're not planning to stay with the company. She's like, but we're not moving in April, and I, basically bargained for raises and promotion, title promotion. So, and I told her, I was like, yes, while I'm here, I'm all in. I'm not going to be half-assed. And while missing a style isn't half-assed, it's just really like, you just can't make cheese out of rotten milk. And when you accept that and are willing to walk away from something or someone that pushes you to be small, pushes you to overextend yourself, and it's just time to release it. It's just time to move on. And even though in the material realm the odds are stacked against me, because I have no formal job lined up. I mean, the end of February, I have no idea where I'm gonna live next. But the universe has been nudging me, the guides have been nudging me to leave this place so that there's enough room, there's enough space on my plate to accept what's actually for me, to receive a bounty that has been ordained, that has been required for me to continue on my purpose, on all of our purpose, because I am just a divine reflection of you, twin. And the huge shifts that are coming up for us is because we are putting an end to these charades. We are putting an end to the illusion of being stuck, of being in lack, of being invisible. And I'm just being guided to talk about the notion, the download that I have received about corporate policy versus courtesy policy, because the corporation that I'm leaving, they're definitely traditional. It is a C Corp, and they run on a pyramid scheme. I love pyramids. I look forward to going to Egypt and visiting them. I also look forward to going to Mexico and visiting the pyramids there as well. But it's just basically, we all know that within a workspace, a pyramid scheme is never gonna work. There's always going to be dissent. There's always going to be competition and betrayal. But all corporations are not existing to serve only themselves. There are B corporations like Bob's Red Mill, Dr. Bronner's. I mean, there's just so many where they don't operate as a corporation, they operate as a co-op. And with the whole, it's kind of like a boomer mentality of the courtesy policy versus the corporate policy, because as a child, I could remember, just little extras, little things that when you go somewhere and you pay for something and they just it's just like these little things. And then just moving forward, now everything's itemized, nickel and dime on everything. It's like, okay, if you want to itemize, you should be willing to reduce your price. So like something that I learned, I don't really eat at Chick-fil-A, but the kids like to eat there, so once in a while I will get it with them. And one thing I can appreciate about Chick-fil-A is that when you're ordering, if you take ingredients off, they reduce the cost. They've itemized they've costed out every single ingredient and are willing to adjust the price based on your preference. And it's like that attention to detail, that level of care for your patrons, the people that are like, you wouldn't even exist if they didn't go to your fucking store, didn't go to, you know, your establishment. Then, oh, there's 2 hawks. Oh shit. Anyways, I saw crows earlier, so I'm pretty sure something interesting is gonna go on. Anyways, so you know, it's just like, and on the same side of the coin, it's like, as a patron, because I don't like to say consumer or customer, as a patron, you're so quick to tell the cashier when something is overpriced, but when something rings up underpriced, do you say anything? Do you make a fuss? Do you tell them no, it's actually $2, not $1.50? You know, so it's like, don't ask of others what you're not willing to do yourself. And that's kind of why I admire Theodore Roosevelt so much, because he was the last president to actually go on the front lines, to actually fight alongside those that he asked to go lay down their lives. And while George H.W. Bush did serve in World War II, so I do appreciate that about him. You know, but, and his son was in the military, and JFK was in the military, but they didn't go to combat. But they have way more level of comprehension and respect for those who do go out and put themselves in harm's way for others, the service that they provide. And yes, there are many issues with military and things like that, and I mean, it just exists in every space. It just exists in every aspect, where there are those who have pure intentions and there are those who don't. You know, everything has margin for error. Everything has flaws. It's just reflections of where we can improve, where we can change. I'm gonna move back a little. The sun getting in my eyes, my astigmatism. But I did have many relatives who have served in the military. My Uncle Billy, my Uncle Ruben, my Uncle Louie, my Uncle Ernie. And I do have direct ancestors that fought in the American Revolution, as well as ancestors who are Zapatistas. So basically, revolution is in the collective's DNA. It's not a fire starter mentality, but more so, we know how to stand our ground and defend what we feel is the highest good of all, is the most beneficial to the experience. And with the B Corps and everything, to have a corporate status enables you to access those tax breaks. But what the B Corp stands for is that it's more of a level. I mean, yes, I believe you still have like the CEO and everything. I mean, there has to be a center point, right? One person that makes the final decision, but basically considers the input of all perspectives before making that final decision. But it's like, if we stop charging others to exist, if we stopped demanding payment for the things that we could just so easily provide for each other, because knowing that what we provide for others will always be provided for us. I'm just thinking about Fruition Seeds. I believe they're in New York, upstate New York, how they have been operating for decades as a traditional business model. And I believe it was the end of 2024, no, maybe the end of 2023 even, they decided to just start giving everything away. They just decided to start offering their produce and seeds to whoever wants them, and that everything will be supported, everything will be provided for them to continue operating. And I believe we're coming up on 2.5 years now for them, and they're still sending newsletters, they're still in operation. See and recognize their own worth and are willing to rely on the visibility that they have to continue forward. And when each of us does that, we are truly embodying the energy of money. We are truly embodying the energy of wealth. We are truly embodying the energy of abundance. I'm just thinking about how elephants in captivity, all they do is put a rope on their foot when they're babies. And the elephant is raised with the rope on their foot so that when they're adults, even though the rope is not on their foot anymore, they're still under the illusion that they can't go anywhere, that they're stuck where they are. But once the elephant realizes how free and powerful it is, they're sure as shit gonna raise hell and get the fuck out. It's not gonna be a good time for the ringleader or any of the clowns involved. I really appreciate you, Twin, for sitting here with me in this beautiful space. Have a look. And I'll see you in the next one, okay? Take care. Love ya.